on.
Hi. Oh, this is Patty. Patty and Martha live at cabin number 4, International Falls. Okay, we're here today just to show you around the flood of 2022. There's sandbags, there's demolition to the cabin, and Martha's kind of giving you a view right now of what was required to keep the waters back. And as you can see, the water is starting to recede. So we're very, very thankful for that. But we're on to phase number 2, and that is demolition of the cabin. We need to score around the bottom of the panels.
We're not really demolishing the cabin.
We're not demolishing, demolition.
We're pulling out parts that we think
Thank you, Martha.
might be too moldy and wet to
Thank
be
you, Martha.
saved.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Yes, I went to the worst case scenario. So we're just doing a minor cleanup and restoration to cabin number 4 in hopes of salvaging it.
And you can see the water is still under the cabin, but it's receding. See that? And you can see the high water mark was about where, Patty? Can you put that, show your hand, with your hand where it was?
Okay, right, it was up here.
The high water mark was
about 1.5 feet.
a foot and a half up on the exterior of the cabin.
Yep. Actually, it was a little farther up than that, Martha.
Okay.
You can see the line on
Oh, it's on the fence.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, it's way up
So
there.
we're talking, you just don't see as much of the markings, but we're talking about maybe 2 feet.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my
more than 2
goodness.
feet up.
And so it did go inside the cabin.
Yes, about a foot.
About a
inside the
foot.
cabin. Yeah.
And it was sitting in there for how long?
Wow, it was about a 4-week
4 weeks,
4
of,
weeks
water
of water
inside
the cabin,
this cabin.
which was built in the 1950s and has stood the test of time. But this is the worst flood we've ever had.
Right.
And as you can see on that corner right there, it was again at least 2 feet up. You can see the markings. And now we're beginning to see the foundation, which is very, very hopeful. Hi, Martha and Patty here. We're getting ready to go into cabin number 4 to see what we're up to today. It's going to be a great day of discovering what's behind that wall. We don't know. So join us. Come on in. What's inside and what we're up to. All right. So here we have a lot of fans moving the air and positioned toward the wetter parts of the structure, which you can see we've taken off on the northern. And we have taken off about, is that 2 feet, Martha?
Yes, it's 2 feet.
About 2 feet of the paneling, and then there was some fiberboard or something behind it, which actually was what was soaked and starting to mold.
Yep. And yes, and let's see what we did in the kitchen. We did something, right?
Yeah, we lifted up we started to pull back the vinyl floor here, and we are seeing that there's been, looks like there's some more wet under there.
Yeah.
We need to eventually get it out, totally, but we're waiting to get a dolly big enough to house this 2 by 3 foot stove, so we can actually pull it totally back.
And you want to save the stove because it's vintage and it's in good condition.
Yeah, it worked for many, many years. So another, actually, this was a resort at one point, and her customers, talked about what a good stove it was. It was in good condition.
So we're looking for a way to move it more easily.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a dolly.
Yeah, for a dolly on wheels. So we're not quite ready to pull this all back yet.
Right.
So,
And Patty, can you tell us why this is so important to you?
oh yeah, you know, this has been a dream of mine for about 35 years. And my mother, when they were moving, this was a small resort, Cozy Cove Camp at one time, and when they dismantled the resort, they sold 3 of the cabins, but kept this cabin, cabin number 4, over the water for me, because I had a vision of turning it into a writer's cottage. And this is something I've been carrying around for a long, long time. And a lot of people have helped me paint, and Martha did the floor, painted the floor, which is now covered with kind of some murky,
Very mucky looking.
mucky and murky sand. Yeah, dried
You
up
can see
sand. You can get a picture of it better. There you go. That's beautiful. So yeah, it's really important for me to do what I can to restore this cabin and bring it back to hopefully even better than it was before. Because we were looking at some of on the northern exposure, we were looking at some of the mold, and it looks like there's been mold from years past as well. So this might be, just a really good cleanup and make it, turn it into an even better cabin or cottage. And finally I'll be sitting at that north end at my desk writing, which I've dreamed about for a long, long time. Yeah.
And we already noticed today that it smells significantly drier and less like bog
Less boggy.
than it has for the past.
Absolutely. It was very noticeable
several
coming
weeks,
in.
yeah.
I mean, I can hardly smell it.
Yeah.
Today.
So we're feeling hopeful.
Yes, yes.
We're giving it our all.
We are. And, this is going to be a labor of love for sure. And my dear friend Martha is joining me in that labor of love because she kind of shares the dream with me. And I really, really appreciate that.
So what we have right here, Patty,
Yeah.
is we went up 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Chad told us to go up a few inches above where the watermark was.
Uh-huh.
And we see that there's mold all the way up to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that we're going to go up to 24 inches,
Okay.
which is what we found in that first room we did. This is the north wall, which is right on the lake, and the waves have been splashing up against it. So we're going to do that.
That makes sense.
With a new fancy tool from Menards.
Yes.
Press the
I
button.
feel powerful.
Okay,
Okay.
this is the tool we're using. It's a little adjustable skill saw.
Very
And
nice.
we've got it set for, between 3/8 and a ½ inch to get through this paneling.
Okay. Here she goes. Whoa.
Unfortunately, it doesn't go all the way to the corner, so we've been scoring that and breaking it off.
Yeah. We need a box knife, which we'll be picking up tomorrow. Okay.
So now we're going to try to break off this piece of paneling that we just cut through.
There she goes. It's coming off pretty easily.
Okay.
Whoa.
So let's score that corner.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to look and see. It's pretty good, but we still got some mold coming up in there. We're going to take it out of here and just see what it looks like.
That sounds like an
Before
excellent
we make any
idea.
other decisions. Okay?
Very good, Martha. Good move.
What we've discovered is there was some old wallpaper that looks like clover underneath there.
Yeah.
And that's-
vintage looking.
And that's given us the idea. Patty's pulling out this old stuff, whatever it is. It's a type of insulation.
Yeah.
But that gives us the idea that we could maybe replace, when we replace this, we could maybe stencil something there.
And kind of bring back some of the old.
Yeah. And we are right on top of the water.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at some mold that's behind the paneling. And we're removing all that stuff. We're hoping that we don't have to go up farther, but we're just not sure.
So far, no major surprises. Kind of what we thought it might be.
Right.
So we're just plodding along.
Would you like to tell us what you're doing down there?
I'm getting rid of the squirrels or the chipmunks or whoever made a huge nest down here with dirt and twigs.
You get a nice close-up of it right down in the other corner.
There you go. With a hole in the wall. There you go.
Oh, good.
This is what we found under the sink, which has been removed by wonderful Bruce here. The mold is forming, but not too bad.
Not too bad, though.
Okay? Take a look here. We're getting it just in the nick of time, I think.
This is black mold that's developed from the floodwaters that covered a 1.5 feet of the inside walls and floors. So I'm trying to remove with vinegar the mold. You can see I've got black mold going here. And what is the white, Martha? Do you know what the white
It's
is?
white mold.
It's white mold.
So this was the subfloor that was put down on top of...
Vinyl.
No, actually in that room it was just on the original tongue and groove flooring.
Oh, okay. This is
And we decided to take a piece up to see what it was looking like, and this is what it looked like. And we're trying to save it because it has a floor mural painted on the back that we're hoping we can save. As does this piece here, which was
Oh
right
my Lord.
next to it.
Oh my Lord.
See? So,
I wonder if I should take Martha a brush.
a brush will be good. Sure.
Let me try to get a brush because this is not going to get some of that off.
All right.
Good morning, Martha. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you what I did here last night.
All right.
This floor, as you know, was stripped yesterday, and I just applied the vinegar to remove any possible mold, and it's looking pretty good and feels pretty solid. I'm very pleased with that. And then here are some of the subfloor that we took up, which was washed and vinegared down, and now we're drying it, and hoping that we might have, like you said, Martha, it was triage ER. Now they're in the ER, first step, and now we'll eventually go on to the second step.
I think they're in the recovery room.
Are they in the recovery room?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I see that your dad's trophy walleye is doing his part.
He is doing his part. He begged me
Yeah.
to use him in this process. So.
Excellent. Everybody has a role.
Everybody has a role.
All right, tell us about this right here.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we took the subfloor up yesterday, and then I was able to just very easily strip the vinyl. So that was not a problem. And what's left, I think, Martha, is just some of the glue, the dried up glue, and residue from the back of the vinyl.
Right. So see, there was vinyl underneath this plywood subfloor that was put in with the intent of having another floor go over it, but we decided to paint it with a floor mural, which we are carefully pulling up
Yep.
and treating,
Yeah. And hopefully
we'll be able to use it.
again.
So
And I'm all about restoration and repurposing, and I know you are too, Martha. So this feels really good to try to save the floor, the mural.
Yep.
Floor.
And we're getting down to the bones.
Yep.
The bones of the cabin, which we think are going to be pretty solid.
Yep.
And let's take a look at how the lake is doing this morning. There it is. Isn't that lovely? And today,
A little bit of wave action today. And I don't think the cavern is compromised anymore in terms of it going off into the brick. I think it's solid. It's going to stay. It weathered the storm.
Yes. All right.
And that it says something about the bones. I think.
Yes.
It really does.
The cabin's bones and our bones.
And our bones. Amen, sister. I am tearing up the vinyl from the living area. We just took the subfloor up, and now we are getting rid of the vinyl.
That's great. It just pulls up like that.
Yeah,
It tears.
kind of.
It's so rotten that it tears. That's great.
It's so rotten that it tears.
Oh, wow.
There's kind of some pieces that we'll have to go around and get, but
Oh, that's fantastic.
it comes up easily.
Yeah.
As you can
Oh
see.
gosh. So that's a gift of the flood.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Is the vinyl comes up
Oh
easy.
my goodness, yes.
And look at, and there's what we have underneath.
It doesn't look super moldy. Does it?
Looks pretty good. Yay! All right, Joe. What are you doing here?
Pulling nails that are buried in sheetrock.
Some of them.
Very satisfying work. That it wasn't glue at all. It was like, oh my gosh.
It's a million nails. And then this very vintage vinyl. Bruce getting some extra leverage there on removing this very thick, very sturdy masonite. Sorry we have to remove it, but it is very damp yet under the linoleum. Pulling up the old vinyl. Yay! Pounding down nails on the old masonite, just so no one gets hurt. Okay, Patty, you said that there were some spots that are weak on the floor, right? Yeah. Did
Yes.
you want to just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, from just going over and doing the vinegar solution and cleaning things up, I've noticed that the weakest spot on the floor is this walkway because it's been used the most. And it's not the entire walkway. There are just certain boards that feel...
Can you lift that up so we can see
sure.
what that looks like there?
Sure. Like this guy right here. I covered it up because as you can see, it's going through.
Right.
And that will need to be replaced.
Yeah, we need a dental appointment.
And a little dental appointment, absolutely. But I'm surprised that it is in as good condition as it is. I haven't felt that many weak spots.
Right.
Maybe a few in the other rooms.
Yeah.
But this is the main.
The main
area.
one, and that's very little. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's another day and another project. To replace some of those floorboards.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're looking under the cabin here, which is now quite dry, which is wonderful. The lake has receded back to almost where it originally was, right, Patty?
Pardon me?
Has it gone down to where?
That portion that you're showing the water, Martha, that should actually, there should be no water there.
Okay, so we got a little ways to go.
We're talking, another foot or so.
Yeah, but look at the ceiling, which is the floor, and that looks pretty darn good.
Can you feel it, Martha?
Well,
It's kind of hard to get up there.
I mean, it's really nice, Patty. Lars is coming to do what?
Lars is coming for sandbag removal,
Uh-huh.
and you can see he's made a good dent here.
Yeah.
and he's got, you know, a little ways to go, but hopes to get it done in the next couple of days. And there's a 10,000-pound limit, I think, on what he can take.
Oh, this is just
at any given
wonderful,
time.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is part of the project that the city or the county is
The county
has
hired
contracted, and it's going to be reimbursed by the federal government,
federal
I guess.
government.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like FEMA or something, I think.
Yep, like FEMA. Exactly.
And here he comes. We can hear him.
Yay, here comes
Very
Lars.
exciting.
Lars with the bobcat.
There he is. Yay. Yes. Awesome. Coming to get sandbags.
They're pretty thorough. We had someone from Barnes McDonald come yesterday to make sure that we were meeting compliance issues for safety.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
You guys enjoy the beautiful day.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
lovely.
thank you.
This is much better today than we had a little rain yesterday when Lars was working.
Yeah, I was kind of red when I was done. At least it's warm.
Yeah. Here we are. Martha and Patty at cabin number 4, and just kind of going over where we're at and what we have left. I've done a good dousing of vinegar to clean the walls and the floors. Then we move into the Jomax, and that is an anti-mold mildew solution, which should help with any further water situations. There it is, yeah, on the floor. And then after that dries naturally, then there's a paint called Zinsser, and that's the third coat to protect from further mold and mildew. So we're doing well. We're on our way. I think that this is something that's needed to be done for a long time. And
Yeah.
I came to that conclusion as we were uncovering, some previous mold, a squirrel.
Right. We saw the squirrel's nest. Yep.
Yeah, had built a nest.
Yeah.
And it needed to breathe. It needed some air. It needed to breathe. And I think I've told Martha, I just felt like the rooms and the cabinet was a big collective sigh. At last, you let me breathe and air out, and I think good things are going to come from this.
And then there's going to be a waiting period for it to dry.
Yeah,
Is that
so
right?
waiting period. Actually, I'm going to let it dry the rest of the summer and lie dormant, throughout the winter months. Just lock everything up, and then next spring when we open up, we'll take a look at how it's fared, and then maybe start the restoration process.
Excellent. So we'll see you next spring, if not before.
There you have it.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Patty.
Martha.